We're out here today. We're about to install a Gallagher fence. We planted some record buck beans out here yesterday, and we're gonna start the process on this Gallagher fence. As you see, we've already started our corners. We're gonna run our inside turbo wire, and I'm gonna run this wire 18 inches off the ground. We'll run it around the fence, and then we'll come back and start with our turbo tape, and we'll pick up from there. I've been running this fence now for about 5 years, so what seems to work better for me is I run these poles like this, since all my tension is going to be on my inside. So I tend to I use a piece of the turbo tape, and I just put a little tension on it, and it allows me to pull that inside pretty tight and keep a bigger fence like this up for longer. This is a spool system that we've run across that seems to work really, really well for us, especially when you're taking down the fence. It just cuts your time down. So if this is a big time investment for guys that are looking to plant beans for several years, bigger plots, you know, when you buy this Gallagher fence, it's gonna hold for a long time. So if you invest in a real system like this right here, you cut your time down dramatically, and it's been a big asset to us to have this system. You can hook your drill to it. It pulls the wire for you. It's really good. Especially these spools here, they allow you to store your wire really efficiently. So if you guys are going to plant several acres, I strongly recommend you looking into getting something similar to this. Now that we got the first line run, we'll run that wire at 18 inches off the ground, and then we're gonna hook up our turbo tape, which is a 1/2 inch Gallagher turbo tape, and we'll run it. And we're gonna run that at about 32 inches to 34 inches when we stake it to the poles. But we're gonna pull this bottom one tight. We're gonna start stepping in our middle poles and getting everything set up as we run our turbo tape. Typically don't have this much slack. Let's see.
That was 2. Or, I mean, counting the one we had on there.
Yeah. All right. We run these poles about 15 steps apart, and that gives us a nice space, and we still have some tightness to the wire. But as you see, we run that bottom wire at about 18, and then that sets us up to about 32 at the top, and that sets us up to have a nice depth perception when the deer come up to see the fence. As we roll, I mean, it'll really start taking off now. There it goes. This is always the time of year I lose weight. So the reason we run these hard fiberglass poles in certain spots is as our terrain changes, hills, or little valleys or turns, we'll put in a hard pole just because it gives us a little more stability. So we pull these lines straight, we get a real straight edge, and it allows us to lay these step-in poles as straight as we possibly can. I'm just gonna connect it right quick. See, they recommend melting it right there, so it's wire to wire, but then you mess that section up, so I can untie that. So now I'll just braid it. I'll just braid it down to get more surface covered. Because I try to save as much as I possibly can. But you have a little bit of waste, but and then it's smooth on the fence. And then I'll tie this one in. I'll run this one up, tie right here, then I'll go to the outside. All right, now we're running our outside line. This is turbo wire again. We're gonna step off that inside line 3 foot, and then we're gonna run it 18 inches off the ground. And what that does is allow that curious deer, when he comes up, he'll look at that top turbo tape, and with the depth perception, and this will typically shock him and repel him from the field. So the goal with this fence is obviously, a lot of people think that you can keep 100% of the deer out. You're not. I'm trying to keep 30 and 40 deer out, you know, so in an afternoon, if I have 1 or 2 in there, my graze pressure is pretty minimal. So as long as I keep the big numbers out, allow these beans to get 3 to 4 foot, and then we'll drop this fence, and then we maximize our tonnage letting these deer in. These clips are 5 years old. We just used a pee on them, so they work great still. Wipe this thing off a little bit.
Ah, nice look.
Let's just bust one in right there. Catch that good sun. There it is. All right, now that we've got everything installed, I'm just going to set up our solar charge. I'm running an S100 by Gallagher. I got a ground rod set up over there in the bushes where I can just leave it throughout the years, and all I'll do is I'll hook my ground to it, and we just have to clip our hot wire on, turn this guy on, and we're ready to roll. Yep, she's hot. We'll grab the tester and make sure we got everything going. We good to go?
Hey guys, if you have any questions about pricing or what type of fence is right for you, please reach out and give us a call. As always, thank y'all so much for watching, and please hit that like and subscribe button. Thank you.